Hello everybody. So if you watched my video where I received these beautiful butterflies, I also received birds and flowers from Kendra. They're kind of these 3D birds, and they've got these genius idea of hangers, which are tabs from soda, beer, whatever, aluminum cans. They have gotten a lot of attention on my channel, and I am going to make some. Now obviously Kendra's style is different than mine, and as much as everybody loves these, including me, I absolutely love them, but I have not seen how Kendra does her paint. Now she's told me how she does it, and I could try to do it the way that she's explained that she's done it, but I don't want to copy. I don't want to copy hers. I want to make mine my own. These are Kendra's, and I don't want to copy them. If Kendra wants to show you how she makes hers, then you know, then she can show you how she makes hers, I guess is what I'm saying. But I am going to do my version of this beautiness. Okay? I can never duplicate somebody else's project. I think that it's just, I don't know anybody that can make something that somebody else has done and make it look exactly like it. I don't know anybody that would want to do that, because this is hers and this is unique to Kendra. So I mean, I can attempt to do something similar to this, but I don't know that it's going to come out exactly like this, and I personally don't want it to come out like this. I want to make it my own. So this is what I am going to do. So this is what I'm basing, this is my inspiration, this is what I'm basing it off of. Okay, I haven't even found the stencils that I'm going to use for this yet, but I'm going to start off with my paper. Excuse me.
I love you, Grandma.
I love you too. So these are oatmeal boxes. I've got 2 of them here. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down my paint. But in order for my paint to be bright, I feel like I need to lay down some gesso. So I am going to take my gesso and this is heavy gesso, super heavy gesso, because this is the only gesso that I've got. I do have some homemade gesso, but as you can see, this is a pretty big container of gesso, and I want to use it up before it goes bad, you know, before it dries out. So I'm just gonna use it, okay? This is just a cheap brush, and I'm gonna go ahead and do all of the little tabs and everything, because I figure whatever I paint on this, I can use to punch things, to use it in other projects, to maybe make smaller of whatever I'm, you know, gonna do. So I'm just gonna do the whole thing. Now I'm not really concerned with totally coating every little visible piece of this cardboard. I just want to get the majority of it. So I'm just going to work this gesso into this cardboard or chipboard. This is pretty thick stuff, so you do have to put some elbow grease into it to get it to spread. You could definitely use, let's try it. if I can find it. I think I stuck it in here. Thought I had a credit card. I stuck in here. I don't know. I thought I had a credit card, but I'm not seeing it now, so we'll just continue. You could smear it with a credit card too. This will give it some texture. Oh, I don't, it's okay. This is going well, so. And plus you'll get a workout, so an arm workout from this. Just try not to snap your brush in half.
It's not going to be bad. Right, Grandma?
Well, it won't be devastating, but you would have to go and get yourself another brush. Sometimes the thick, my arm's burning. Sometimes this heavy gesso is better to put on with a credit card just because it's so thick, but this is fine. We're almost there.
I think you have to go up.
I just think that it's nice to have a white background because then I think that your paints are brighter. Okay, so I know that this isn't like even, like it's thicker up here than it is down here, and I don't care. That's fine. It's fine just like that. So I'm going to move this one up and bring this one down.
That's going to be a long day.
And it's going to have to dry before I can paint it. If you don't have gesso, just use plain white paint. If you don't want to put the white on first, then by no means is there any rules to this. You don't have to coat it at all. Just put your paint down.
I think I might sit down by your desk because my legs getting sleepy. I gotta get my song right away. You coming? I gotta wait down. Wake me up if I miss you. It's really hard.
So I got half done. It goes pretty fast, you know. Okay, so I did hit this with the heat gun, so it is dry now. Okay, so I am looking through my paint colors here. I don't really want to use a lot of colors, so I'm trying to narrow it down. Still thinking. I like the colors that Kendra used, so I might stick with those colors, which was pink, green, and blue.
And white.
Okay, so that's what I've got here.
And white.
Now when I asked Kendra how she did her paints, she said that she put paint down and mushed 2 pieces of paper. That's how she made her envelopes, and I don't know if that's how she did these, but that's kind of a dendritic print, and dendritic is 2 pieces of glass, and you mush the paint together between the pieces of glass, and then you put the paper down, and that's how you get your image, or your image on your paper. So that's kind of a modified dendritic print. So I'm getting globs of paint here, which I don't want. Right there's my glob. It's still there, but we'll see what happens if I have to pick the glob out. So I'm not sure how this is gonna work, but we'll see. Hey, this is new to me too. You don't know until you try, right? Oops, that was a lot of paint.
And you do get in globs. Not a big one.
By the way, my peanut gallery's back if you couldn't hear them. Okay, so we're going to give it a try. That's why I really wanted to use the 2 pieces of like cardboard so that I could match this up. Okay, and kind of mush my paint. So here, let me get some kids out of my way. I'm going to get my brayer. And I am going to brayer this. Oh yeah, we're getting some paint squirting out of the sides. It's a good sign that we got enough paint in there.
like it, Grandma.
Okay, so that's what I got. I didn't cover it. I guess we go back into some of these spots and we add more. Seems like I got a lot of green on here. So I don't want to go so much in with the green, and it seems like I've got less blue than anything. Could have added some pink here, but I'll put blue. So what I'm learning is I really have to put a lot of paint.
Right, it's almost look like this.
Put that down, please. Okay, let's do it again. I'm going to match these up. Did I really turn that around that much? I did. So I'm going to match this up.
I like that sound, Grandma. Not me that much, because it's really annoying.
Oops, can't do that. Like getting it on my camera. Okay. That's a little bit better.
Just this a little more, too much paint. You think, Grandma? I'm gonna move this paint out of these pieces. Hey, I've covered that, feeling about food. Because when I put it in,
So I guess you could go, you know, you could keep adding paint, or you can fill in your negatives with paint like this, which is what I'm going to do.
they lose it right now. I like it, Grandma. Oh, I make money down for a while. I'll take a nap. I don't want to. No. Let me stop this paint. Because I just want in a while. I don't see
Okay. So now I want to add some sparkle into it. I still need to make some glitter mist. Maybe I'll do that later today. So I'm just using this Tattered Angel that's like a really light blue with gold in it. Just to get that in there. Then I've got this Martha Stewart craft glitter, and it's pretty fine. So while everything is still pretty wet, this is just like really fine, so I can just dust some of this on here.
It's shiny now.
Like shake it on like salt and pepper.
And I like salt. So and it's so glittery. I like glitter. But I see a glitter.
And then I'm going to hit it with the heat gun. Now, one of the things when Kendra sent me those these wall appliques, the thing that touched me so much is she sent me so many. And the thing that touched me so much, one thing is their beauty. Like, they're just absolutely beautiful. And when somebody makes you something, it's a one-of-a-kind thing. Nobody else will ever have that exact thing. So when somebody makes you something that's homemade like that, it's original. And that's the one thing that I think about when I receive a gift like that is it's unique. It's a unique gift. It's made by that person's hand. But the other thing is, unless you make something like that, you don't know the amount of work that goes into it. And when I saw those and I saw how many of them there were, I knew right away how much time went into making all of those. That was definitely a labor of love, because I know that she made those with her hands, and that was a time-consuming thing, because I know she made the chipboard, she painted it, she cut it out, she glued it. This is time-consuming, and those are big. Those are not small appliques, and she made so many of them that's why I got so emotional, because they're beautiful, and I appreciated the time that she put into them, and the fact that she sent all of those to me. That's what touched me so much about the gift that she had sent me, because it was a bit overwhelming to me, because I understand the amount of time that she put into it. That wasn't a small gesture. That was huge. That was a huge gesture. I mean, just making these two pieces right here, and then I look over at my wall and see all of those hanging there, and I think that was just a huge undertaking, and it makes me just appreciate it all the more. I appreciated it at the time, but doing this just makes me appreciate it all the more, because it really is. She made so many of them for me. I mean, and they're layered. They're like the flowers. the flowers are layered. There's 2 flowers on top of each other. The butterflies are layered. So, like this right here will make 2 butterflies. Each box will only make 2 butterflies. Like this will make 1 butterfly, the other one will make 1 butterfly. So it truly is an undertaking. So I truly appreciate, you know, her sending those to me. This is going to take a little bit to dry because when you use gesso, your paint doesn't have anything to absorb into, because what it does is it puts a layer between your whatever backing you're used. In this case, it's chipboard, cardboard from a food product. So my paint is basically drying on top of that. It doesn't have anything to absorb into. And then I squirted that spray on top of it, which is water soluble. So I basically just have a bunch of moisture sitting on top of this, waiting for it to dry. So this is where I'm going to differ away a bit from what Kendra did. For one thing, I'm not quite sure how she got these stars. I think I understand how she did. I think she put some paint and then pulled out. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's what she did. I'm not positive, but I think. But this is where I'm going to put me into this. I like what she did with the stars, don't get me wrong. But like I said, I don't want to make it exactly like her. I want to make this my own. So we all pretty much know Kim's style by now. And so as soon as this dries, I'm going to go get rid of this gesso water and clean off these brushes. Give this a chance to dry some more because it's still pretty soppy. And then we'll be back. Okay, so I'm going to stamp. Did you guess it? I am going to stamp because I just feel the need to stamp. I feel the need. So I am going to get my StazOn. Have you guys ever smelled StazOn ink? This stuff smells so good. I love the smell of it. You know what it smells like? It smells like anise. This is still wet right there. Ugh, it's still wet right there. Okay. Okay, put them outside for a few and they seem to be dry now. So let's move forward. So this is just like some kind of a little filigree type stamp that I got for $3 on clearance at the Hobby Lobby. I believe it was Hobby Lobby. Okay, so I don't want it to be really dark. And I want it to be very, very random. I just really want some marks in it. Okay. Now, stays on usually is really not going to come off of your stamp. I suppose it would if you use some alcohol, but we really don't need to. As long as it doesn't come off on other projects, we're good. But I'm wiping the glitter off. Okay, so we've got that. I don't mind the white in the back of it at all. I don't mind that, but I really like using these foam brushes when I'm painting on to my bubble wrap. And I'm going to move that over. I'm going to put this down. Just to get some more white on there. And let's do it to this one. That's why the white background didn't really bother me, because I knew that once I did this, it would all pretty much blend in. Okay, so that's what we got so far. I'm gonna put this, Stays on ink isn't cheap, so I like to put that inner cover back on there. It tells you not to discard that for a reason, so. Okay, so that's what we got. You can pretty much stop there. You could put some more white on there, which probably wouldn't be a bad idea, but I think that we're going in the right direction here. We could put some little bubbles.
Yeah, I'm missing anything. I was taking my nap.
Oh, girl, you missed so much. Let's try to do some little bubbles. I don't want to overpower it, but I kind of just wanted to bring some white back in. So it's not a lot. So now I'm still, don't run over that, okay? Still wondering what I want to do, Did I do with my, here it is. So I have my Deco Art paint pen here that's just about out of paint. I got these at Tuesday morning and I don't like the way they write. However, I do love the way they splatter. kind of a translucent paint in these things. So when it dries, it's not real bright, so you get some of the color in your background popping through these splatters, which I like.
My helmet, I got to show my helmet.
But I've used so much of it to splatter that I think I'm just about out of paint. Okay, so we got that. I gotta find my lid. It's over here. Gotta shake these up. I haven't used the black much, so it should give me some pretty good splats. I don't want a lot of black because I just don't think it needs it. Plus I put that black ink in the background. If you don't want to break your hand like that, then pick up another object and tap it on an object like that. There we go. And again, these are these deco color duos, adding a little bit more glimmer mist just to top off the sparkle factor. You can always wait until the end to do your glimmer mist. I think this is an alcohol. Yeah, this is an alcohol based one, a homemade one, and it's purple with gold mist in it. So it should dry quickly. Okay, so let's do that. Got a little heavy there. If you don't like it, then just take a paper towel or a baby wipe and just kind of blot the bigger spots off. Okay, so I think I'm done with that part. Now I did print off these butterflies, and they're the same size on here. Okay, so what I did is I took that template that I showed you and I cut it out. Here's the bigger one. I cut two of them out on one of my oatmeal boxes, and then I shrunk it down 85%, traced the smaller one down onto my other oatmeal boxes, or my other oatmeal box, and so now I am cutting it out. And I purposely separately cut out the middle of my butterfly because that is going to be cut out separately, so that when I put it all together, it will be a separate piece. Okay, so now I'm just finishing off my second butterfly here. And I will put the template below if you want to download it and use the same template that I used. It looks similar to the one that Kendra used, but I don't know if it is. I don't know if it is or not. It very well could be, and she added some extra little curves in it. I'm not sure. So these are my two bigger ones. No, those are my two smaller ones. These are my two bigger ones. So the smaller one will go in between, you know, inside to give them that 3D effect. I'm going to hang on to my templates for future. And then I did cut out the body. Okay, we found it. Here it is. So I need two of these. Okay, so I'm going to turn this over. And I'm going to have to cut my antennas bigger, or I'm going to have to do something else for them. So the best way to do something that's fine like that, this marker, I keep picking it up and it's like out of ink. I need to just toss it so that I quit trying to use it. Is just kind of like color around your antenna because they're small and thin. And then kind of go from there to decide if you, I'll probably cut along the outsides of that. Oops, I'm going to try not to move it. Fingers stop moving. Okay, so that's what I've got. And then I need two of them because I'm making two butterflies.
Did Pam make me one?
The same thing over here. We'll see, okay? Do the same thing over here. Try to... I moved it again, but that's okay. Little bug wants to move around. I'm going to take my scissors, cut it in half at least, and then we can kind of, you know, form our shape accordingly. So if I want my antennas to be a little bit rounder, I can do that here. If I want to make my head a little bit more distinct, I can do that here. And then of course we have our body. So just kind of use that middle section as your guide as to what you're doing. My head, make that a little bit rounder. Come up if I want my antennas to be rounder. Just make them rounder. Make the antenna thinner. Not really that big of a deal. Turn it over and see if you like how that looks. I'm fine with it. Okay, this one got a little bit fatter and out of control. So I'm gonna make my antenna come down, turn it, go up, work on this antenna. Kind of ran out of room there, so I'm gonna thin this out and then make my antenna.
Maybe you're supposed to shape it first.
Yeah, I'm just trying to give it some shape here. Okay, then this is my head, so I'm going to give it some shape, and this is my body.
A little fat body, like Papa. Like Emma.
Yeah, but that's not very nice.
What?
Okay, and then I'm back at my head here.
I just think I might get something back on.
And then I'm back at my other antennae. And I'm going to attempt to round this. Okay, and it's okay if it's not perfect, because, you know, nature's not perfect. So here's my two bodies.
Can I have an orange piece?
Go ahead.
Thanks.
So this body is lots.
Do I have a piece? Orange?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks.
So I'm going to thin this guy out. Okay. And then that way I'll be able to give more definition to his head. Let's even his head out a bit. So it doesn't look so lopsided. Okay, so I'm good. I'm good with that. Okay, so then we are going to just go along the edge here and give him a whimsical black line. Don't want it to be real thick. And this is just an off-brand, like a Sharpie. I don't remember where I got these. Oh, I think they're Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree markers, Sharpie type markers. So you can go as thick or as thin as you want to on this. Just trying to keep my lines as even as I can all the way around. I can go back and even them up. It's just going to be hard to take off if I go too thick, you know, so I'd rather go slow and add thickness and not have to take it off. Okay. So I'm going to do it. Now we have to go around the edges of the butterflies as well. Now you can do this with paint too. I'm not sure what Kendra used. She used paint. So I'm just going to do the same thing. If you're more comfortable using paint, use paint. Just take your time. It's not a race. This project's case, it definitely is a marathon. Bless your heart, Kendra. Okay, got a little thin right here. So there we go. Okay, so I got all of my butterflies outlined. So now I'm going to go through and put the dots. Now I don't have a pen. So I have filled up one of my little bottles that have a fine tip on them. These are by Darice, and they're fine tip applicators. I will put a link below if you would like to check them out. So it's harder, it's not like using a paint pen. I didn't want to use my jelly roll pen because I thought that it would not work real great on this, and I wanted my dots to be visible and bright. And so I thought paint would be my best bet for this. So the thing with using this is you have to squeeze it as you're doing the dots. So they're not all going to be the same size, but that's okay, I don't care. Okay, so I'm just going to go around, put my dots. Now if you didn't want to do dots, you could do lines too, but I think that that would be more challenging with this applicator. It might be more feasible if you have a good Posca pen, paint pen, but for me, I'm going to do the dots. I like doing dots anyways, so this is what I'm doing. Once you get a feel for your bottle, you just have to be really careful that you don't touch that paint because you will smear your dots. And then of course put this in a safe place until that paint has a chance to dry. So as you can see, the more and more you do to this, the more alive it comes. Okay, so there's one. Okay, so there's my butterfly. I'm going to start right here in the middle. Put them as close or as far apart as you want. You just kind of get a rhythm.
cast, Grandma. Is that you?
Paint.
Paint? No, you're looking make it look like this, Grandma. But you're making this look like that. Look
Well,
like
it's
this.
kind of like that. This is just my version of it. Okay, so now we've got the last butterfly. Okay, so they're dry. I kind of put these together like this, and I kind of think that they need something on the wings. So I'm just kind of trying to decide what that is. So I'm going to take my little paint thing here. Since this is going to be the back butterfly, I am going to do this on here first. And I keep getting little air bubbly pockets that wants to squirt. So what I am doing is drawing some veins onto my little butterfly. I'm not going to go crazy with it. Because I don't want it to overtake it. Since this is the back one, I kind of wanted it to be my guinea pig. So drawn veins is basically like drawn veins onto a leaf. Okay, I like it. So of course now we're going to have more drying time. Okay, you guys, I'm all done. I'm sorry, I forgot to turn the camera on while I was building these. So what I did is I just kind of shaped my cardboard. This is really easy to kind of bend and shape. Okay, so I shaped each butterfly, and then I just glued them. I just hot glued one on top of the other, and then I glued the body down. I put my tab on. Now before I put my tab on, I did bend it. I looked at Kendra's here. This is the one that Kendra made. I looked at it and saw how she did it, and she did put a little bend right here so that it would be easier to hang from the wall. So I just took my plier. Let me move my camera up a bit. So I just took my plier and I just gave it a little kink right there and then right there, and then I was able to give it a little bend. Okay, really simple. I put glue on the middle bar and on the bottom bar, and I just glued it right directly onto the cardboard. Okay, and then you can, you know, shape it once the person gets it on the wall. Like what I did with Kendra's before I put it on the wall, I just kind of bent it up to give it that 3D look. Okay, now Kendra used a cereal box, which is a thicker chipboard. I used the oatmeal boxes, which is a thinner chipboard. No reason, it's just what I had on hand. So mine is a little bit lighter than hers. No reason, no rhyme to it, nothing, you know, different or wrong, just, you know, an observation. So, Kendra's, mine, very similar, just different. My style, Kendra's style, they're both very nice. I like them both a lot. So I hope you guys give this a try. It's very, it was challenging, I have to say. These are not, you know, just your throw together project. It does take some time to do, and but look at the results. I mean, obviously beautiful, right? Great gifts for anybody, and I really enjoyed making it. You could do anything you want with the paper, with the backgrounds. So give it a try. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And I hope you all have a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. And as always, God bless. Bye-bye, guys.